Hi, everyone. I'm back with EvaMarieEverson, and we are going to launch December with Dickens. Well, kind of with Dickens. Yeah. This is Eva's book, God Bless Us, Everyone. You recognize that line, I'm sure. And it's a contemporary Christmas carol. So Eva's going to tell us about it, and I'll let you know where you can buy the book, and it's great for a Christmas read. So welcome back, Eva. It's so great to see you again. I know it's just been minutes, but okay, I'll edit that part out.
It seems like minutes.
Give us God Bless Us, Everyone in a nutshell.
In a nutshell. So this is the story of Charlie Dixon, not Charles Dickens, but Charlie Dixon, who has lost her job, who has a real issue about anything, that's classic or in the past. She thinks only in terms of contemporary and in the future, but she's lost her job and she has no choice but to return to her grandmother's. Now, her grandmother raised her. Her father and mother were drug runners and served time. And so her grandmother raised her, and she's had nothing to do with either of her parents since she was a very little girl. She has memories of lovely Christmases with mom and dad and sis. That's what she calls her grandmother. She calls her sis. But she's repressed those. Don't want to talk about it. Don't want to think about it. And the whole issue that she loses her job. She works in a school, and they want her to perform a classic, or she's a drama teacher, and they want her to lead or direct a classic Christmas play. And she doesn't want to do it, and she tries to skirt around it, and they end up firing her. So she goes home to sis in Testament, North Carolina, which I introduced Testament in my book, The Road to Testament. And so she goes back to Testament, North Carolina, where she grew up. And her grandmother is working on a community play. And so her grandmother says, well, of course, you'll come and help us. And so she goes there, and of course, they're performing A Christmas Carol. And she's like, what is it with these classics? She doesn't want to have anything to do with it. But in order to please sis, she says that she will. And in the process, she learns the true story of how A Christmas Carol was written, and a little bit about the life of Charles Dickens, whose father also served time. And in all of this, her father is reemerging in her life and is asking for forgiveness from his daughter and a chance to show her that he has changed. But Charlie wants to leave the past in the past. And so it's how the story is about how the story of Dickens and the story of how A Christmas Carol was ever written in the first place, and how so many things that we take as being modern about Christmas actually began with Charles Dickens in the 1800s with A Christmas Carol, including the line, Merry Christmas, and of course, God Bless Us, Everyone. So it's all about forgiveness. It's about her learning that she's not the only one, and that in order to embrace Christmas present and Christmas future, sometimes we have to deal with Christmas past. And of course, that's what Charles Dickens was teaching us through Ebenezer Scrooge.
That's right. Oh, I love that. I love that you took the Dickens story and the contemporary story and just brought it all under the Christ umbrella, which is forgiveness and grace and mercy. And I love that. I'm very excited about the book, and I know that people are really going to enjoy reading it for Christmas. I also want to say that at the end of the book, you have group discussion questions, a group discussion guide.
Yes.
And I like that because I don't know if you have any specific Christmas traditions you can tell me in a minute. I know for us in our family, we always would gather in the morning. It was terrible. At the time, the kids thought it was torture, but now they're adults. They totally appreciate it. And they do. So we would not open any presents until we had this beautiful Christmas breakfast that I prepared. And then we would tell the Jesus story, and we'd talk about Christmas and what it meant to us. And so I love that you have that discussion guide. And I just want to suggest that you guys might look at this after you buy the book on Amazon.com And think about if this could be something you could incorporate into your family traditions. So what family traditions do you have for Christmas?
Well, you know, we've done the things like, you know, going to the Christmas Eve services or a Christmas service, you know, that kind of thing, which are very, very special. When it comes to, you know, like what took place in the home, my husband had a daughter from a previous marriage, and her mother wanted her to spend Christmas morning. She wanted her to wake up there.
Right.
And so we incorporated Christmas Eve so
Okay.
that we would all be a family on Christmas Eve. Our son, our daughter, Jessica, my husband's daughter, Ashley, I consider her to be my daughter as well, our daughter, Ashley. We wanted to all be together.
Right.
And so that's what we did. We created our Christmas day to be Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And we just enjoyed the stories behind Christmas, the Christmas movies,
Right.
the story of Saint Nick. But always, you know, we looked at, this is not necessarily truly when Jesus was born, but this is when we choose to celebrate the fact
His birth,
that
right.
love came to earth in the form of a baby and grew to be a man, and was the great rabbi and the great teacher, who of course was Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just incorporate all of it. It's just a huge celebration for us. To this day, we celebrate on Christmas Eve.
Oh, fun.
Like you were saying, the kids will say, "Oh, yeah," but it is great when they get to be older, because now it's like,
Right.
oh, we don't have to be bothered with getting up, and
Right.
you know, we just get up a little bit later on Christmas Day.
Right, right. We used to, I'm Cuban, you know that, and in Cuba, we would celebrate Christmas on January 6th. It's el Día de los Reyes Magos, the Day of the Wise Men or whatever.
Yeah.
But in our home, we would always celebrate on Christmas Eve. Same thing. Big Cuban Christmas Eve dinner with the whole family, the whole 9 yards. And then, you know, Christmas morning, we'd wake up and, you know, rip, and 30 seconds later it's over, which is why I think I instituted the one present at a time when my kids were growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have an official Santa who distributes
Right.
presents. And then it's one at a time. We all watch, you know, we go around the room. Okay, now it's your turn. It's your turn.
Yeah.
So that we can all appreciate
Right.
what's been given, what's been received.
Yeah. Celebrate together. I think that's the way I've always looked at it myself. So that's awesome. That's so fun. So thanks everyone for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed hearing about EvaMarieEverson's new book, and looking forward to her new books that are coming out next year. So go out to Amazon, go to EvaMarieEversonAuthor.com to see all the wonderful things that Eva has done. So Eva, thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you. I love you, and I'll see you next time.
Merry Christmas to you. Love you as well. And God bless us, everyone.
Amen. Okay, bye-bye.